Gentrification is a process of changing the character of the neighborhood through the influx of more wealthy residents and businesses. Gentrification increases the economic value of the neighborhood, but results in demographic displacement. This is a very hot topic right now, and since I lived in Mexico City for 15 months and I got to know the city pretty well, I want to share my 10 pesos and ask you to share yours in the comments below after watching this video. Also, let me remind you to smash that red subscribe button to see more of my videos. I've seen articles online, YouTube video from True Mexico, multiple social media posts about this issue, but honestly, I'm not sure how big of a problem it is. Everyone is referencing the same picture, the same hateful comments from the same tweet and a couple of articles. Personally, I have never experienced any hate towards me when I was in Mexico City and Mexico overall. It was nothing but the nicest people and always positive welcoming emotions. Yeah, I've got some disrespectful comments on my YouTube channel towards Americans in general, but I don't take it personal. So let's dive into this. Basically, people are talking about hip areas of Colonia Roma, Colonia La Condesa, and Colonia Hipodromo. Maybe Juarez can be added there as well. Why foreigners are coming to Mexico? 1. For climate. If Mexico would have been just 1 month of summer and bunch of rain and snow, believe me. 2. Yes, to take advantage of their economic value. No matter if you work remotely, retired, just have savings, or want to relax half a year, long vacation. Mexico is not cheap for Mexicans, but it's damn cheap to average middle class from developed countries. This is a fact. 3. To learn language and culture. I would say those are the main motives of people who come to Mexico. Why foreigners come mostly to Roma Norte, La Condesa, and Hipodromo and Ciudad de Mexico, which are actually not the most wealthy areas. There is also Santa Fe, Polanco, and other small areas with big wealthy houses like San Angel, for example. I think 1. These areas are known to be safe. 2. Really great walking areas in the neighborhoods, great architecture, many parks, a lot of trees, no noisy highways. 3. Pretty close to all of the tourist attractions around, like Chapultepec and Historical Center. 4. A lot of shopping and dining opportunities which keep growing as area develops. 5. Nice accommodation opportunities as well, like fashionable Airbnbs, high-end rentals, and luxury hotels. Can you get something like that in other areas of Mexico City? I would argue that yes, you can. But for some reasons, Roma Norte, La Condesa, and Hipodromo are well marketed, and the most of the visitors or remote workers go to stay only there and rarely leave it because, oh my god, Mexico City is so dangerous. Reasons why local residents are mad. 1. Obviously, gentrification processes raises up the prices around like rent, restaurants, coffee, barber services, private clinics, wet clinics, more expensive shopping, more expensive food on local market. This is understandable. 2. Foreigners in most part don't speak Spanish, so it creates a view of a demand of locals to speak English, even though I don't agree on this one too much. 3. Some foreigners are pretty ignorant to Mexican culture, sometimes not even understanding that Mexican politeness is very fragile. Number 4. There are just some Mexicans, and I met them, that just hate Americans as a part of their belief system. Nothing I can do about this. During US-Mexico War in 1846, United States took 55% of Mexican territory. I guess they still have rights to be mad about this. US Army went as far as occupation of Mexico City in 1847 when American flag was flying over the National Palace in front of Zocalo. I don't really want to dive in the history here, but you know where the border is today. My thoughts about all of this. First, gentrification is unavoidable. It happens all over the world. Even in Mexico, more rich Mexicans gentrify less rich Mexicans from their areas. It happens too in Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, all over the United States. It happens in other countries, in other cities. Second, you can be an unfortunate victim of this process or be smart about it and see opportunities for yourself. Those gringos that come to your lovely Roma Norte spend their dollars in Roma Norte. This is a huge economic stimulus. Architects charge more for the services, developers charge more for their apartments, lawyers charge more for the papers, designers pick more expensive furniture and get bigger commissions, real estate agents get bigger cuts. Even house cleaners are more expensive in Roma Norte. Restaurants, bars, markets, all of the Mexicans around from different levels of society make more money and take those money home to their families. Guy who makes furniture in Xochimilco comes to sell it on the streets of Roma, as he will sell it for twice of what he would get in his neighborhood. Waitresses make more money and get bigger tips. I can go on and on with this. Third point, I feel bad for the people who live in these neighborhoods and cannot take advantage of the economic growth. I don't know why, due to age, limited resources, not understanding the opportunities, due to lack of education, I don't know. Yes, it's the dark part of all of this. Also, I'm not entirely sure how it happens in Mexico City. As for example, in the United States, the property taxes are pretty serious and it definitely is the main factor that pushes people out of their area. In Mexico City, property tax is very low. And if I'm not mistaken, as many sources states different info, but it's like 0.6% of assessed value per year, or sometimes people say it's rarely over $300 per year. Say that it rarely gets over $300 per year. 30% discount if you pay upfront. If you're a senior citizen, you get 50% discount. Also, if you will look into Mexican corruption, I'm pretty sure you can tip the estimator to estimate the low price to pay even less taxes. Public transportation is affordable, and big markets in the city are not changing their prices because of gringos in Roma Norte, so you can also travel and buy food somewhere else. So I'm not sure what is the main pushing factor here to push locals out of this area. 4. People are forced to speak English. No, it's not true. You don't have to speak English and communicate in English, but this is again about opportunities. If you want to have a job which pays more and requires to speak English, learn it and take it. It's like a skill which pays off. You're a real estate agent, architect, driver, waitress, doctor with private practice. With English, you will make more money. Just that. 5th point. It might sound a bit crazy, but locals also have their guilt in this. They rent the houses on Airbnb, they open more expensive restaurants, they charge more for everything, creating this bubble where a more expensive commercial rate makes more expensive coffee, and it's just a closed loop. You, the original locals of this neighborhood, some time ago thought it's a great idea to make more money on foreigners, and they just simply bought it out from you, and now you're complaining that it doesn't belong to you anymore. Sorry, that's one of the thoughts behind this process. 6. Yes, I agree a lot that tourists are rude by not understanding the culture and not willing to explore it. Mexicans are one of the most polite and nicest people on this big rock that rotates around the sun. Don't be ignorant to them. Download Duolingo and learn goddamn buenos dias, muchas gracias, por favor, perdón, lo siento, adelante. Even this will make a great difference. Don't walk around like everything is so cheap. Oh my God, it doesn't cost nothing. Yes, it's cheap, but not for average Mexican who works hard every day, harder than you ever worked in your life, and it's not cheap for him. Say hola, buenos dias to your neighbors. If someone asks for money or tries to sell you something, don't ignore people like they don't exist, or don't put your hand in front of their face. Communicate like human being. Just say aretito, muchas gracias, señor, señora, amigo, chica, whatever. Just have some goddamn respect to people. Mexico is different in many ways than your home country. You can question this and maybe you will be even right. But they're used to things their way and they're mad when you don't do it. Gosh, I got so mad about that last point. I think that things might even be smoother there if those who come would be nicer and actually contribute to society, not only in economical means. You know, I actually didn't even spend that much time in these areas we talked about. I lived in Coyoacan. I explored a lot of Mexico City. Rich, poor, safe, dangerous neighborhoods, which you can see in my other YouTube videos. I wish I would start my YouTube channel earlier and film more things that I saw, as it was truly great and unforgettable experience. I never felt unwelcome in Mexico City. As a proof, let's just look at the numbers. As per 2010, Colonia Roma population was 45,000, Colonia Hippodroma and Colonia Condesa was 25 combined. We're talking about 70,000 people. Okay, let's even double it for 2022, like 140. Mexico City is still population 22 million people. And this area of gentrification make only 0.6% of population. How many of those 140,000 are foreigners? How many benefit from the economic race? And how are really mad at foreigners? I guess not that many to make such a huge stink about, oh my God, gringos, go away, you're not welcome. With all of this, I just want to sum it up saying, I love you, Mexico. Mexico City, you're amazing. My dear Mexicans, just look into opportunities. You got it in front of you. And dear visitors, please appreciate the Mexico in the right way. That's it. Thank you for watching. My name is Andrei Shalido. As always, please share your thoughts in the comments down below. Thumbs up so YouTube shows this video to more people. Subscribe if you haven't already. And into the next one.